Hello, sit down with us and get comfy as today we're diving into what we weren't prepared for as children.
And in next week's episode, we will be diving into what we weren't prepared for as adults.
Yeah.
So come back for that if you like.
Yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and also comment what you weren't prepared for growing up.
Yes.
And we may have some points that are similar for next week. So yeah, let's get into
it. Let's go.
I think first and foremost as a child, growing up with a difference when I first found out about my alopecia, I think it was the sense of false hope. Like the thought that, because I was literally told that, I've said before, that I was told by the doctor that if I stop stressing, my hair will grow back. So I was tried to stop stressing. And it's like when you're told not to press the red button.
And
you press the red button.
I think to me, it's like, how stressed can you be as a child?
Right?
Do you know what I mean?
But I was like, I don't understand how my hair loss is due to stress because I didn't feel stressed. I'm sorry, SATs is not that stressful.
No.
It wasn't that stressful for me as a child. I'm not entirely sure where the stress came from, but that's what the doctor did put it down to. But he also did say, if you stop stressing, your hair will go back. But then I ended up stressing about not stressing.
Oh, yeah, it's like that red button thing you're saying.
A catch-22, so I was just stressing even more and then worrying even more and then checking my hair even more if more hair had fallen out. But then I got this sense of false hope thinking that when I did have some regrowth, I was like, oh, great, my hair's growing back.
I'm not stressing.
And then it would fall out again. And then, we had a new serum to try. Maybe that'll help my hair grow back. No. So that, I think for me as a child, it was a sense of false hope because you're so innocent as well and you think everything's going to be okay, you're going to be cured, which let me reiterate, there's no cure for alopecia, just treatments that can help.
I think similarly with me, there was this always sense of false hope. So growing up, I always went to loads of different physios. I did multiple surgeries. Don't get me wrong, the surgeries were needed because at one point to not really paint a graphic picture, but my spine was quite literally open. So surgeries were needed. I am going to get into my diagnosis and the whole surgeries thing in a future episode when we talk more in depth about Spina Bifida and my journey with it. But I think there was a sense of false hope in the sense of going to loads of different physios, physio in water. There is a word for it, Hydrotherapy. There you go. Tell your mum's a nurse.
I know, right?
Yeah, so she'll be proud. Angela would be proud.
Hit on mum.
And I think obviously not all those kind of led to anything, but also I think there was always a sense of false hope that all this is going to lead you to being able to walk and run and all that jazz, and there was always that as an end goal, whereas I think that's what gave me a false hope that this isn't forever. And for most people, it's not. And a disability can look different for multiple people, whether you have the same disability or not. So I think, that was a false hope for me growing up.
But I think that was definitely the main kind of thing as a child. Because as a child, you just want things to get better.
Yeah.
If you're upset, you know you're going to get better. If you're unwell, you know you're going to get better. That's what you see in all the Disney films, that you always want a happy ending as a child, so when you don't get the happy ending you want, it's well, what hope have I got to hold on to? That sounds so deep.
No, but it's true.
So true.
And I think part of that as well is not having someone with the same disability as you and not seeing it around you. I hate to say it, but you're almost that's normal. This isn't. I'm not normal. So what I'm working towards is to become normal. Yeah. And I think that also creates a false hope but whereas what you should be doing, obviously not as a child because that's way too young, but what it should be installed in you is that it's okay to be different.
Yeah.
And this might be it, but it's just the ways of coping with it rather than giving you false hope.
Yeah, you know what? My, I guess she's my sister-in-law, even though I'm not married. We're sister-in-laws.
Yeah.
Basically just another big sister. But she tells her daughter all the time that if you are called weird, it's a good thing. Don't think that's a bad thing to be weird. It's good. It's good to be a bit weird and a bit quirky. And I love that value she's already adopted in her daughter.
That's sweet. Yeah.
So young as well. Because kids can be weird.
Yeah.
Because you're learning what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
But then a child saying it to another child is like negative.
Yeah, like,
And
weird,
it can like
this
really
and that.
change your likes and dislikes from such a young age. So I loved that. It just came to mind, just like
That's
as
really
we're talking
sweet.
about
Yeah,
false
that's really
hope.
sweet.
It's almost like owning what you're
like.
and who you are, and your dislikes and your likes. And it's like my sister, for example, she'll hate me for saying this. She was obsessed with My Little Ponies for such a long time, until I think it was called like, she got called childish or something when she got to high school, and she was like, oh, I want them all out of my room.
No.
And then she's like, with all the friends she made, it was like a 180 of the things that she then started liking.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah.
I think we've all had that stage in life
Oh my
where
gosh,
like
yeah.
we pretend to like something because of the crowd.
Yeah.
Right now I can't think what mine was.
But
I'm sure there's
I have
something.
like a core memory. I was in year 2 of primary school, and we were talking about programs that we watch on Disney or TV or whatever. Now, some people were saying like Friends, and I was like, what's Friends? Like
I
was
didn't
too
even know
young.
Friends at high school.
I'm thinking primary school.
Oh, even
like I
then,
didn't even
yeah.
know that.
No.
And I said Lazy Town.
Stop it.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
But I was obsessed
Loved.
with it. Like,
Loved.
because they were dancing and singing, and I was like dancing all the time. I was
Yeah.
like, lazy. I was like,
Lazy Town. You could be the girl.
And the
Lazy
whole,
Town.
I need to get a pink wig. But at the same time, the whole class were like, started laughing. And I was like, wait, am I weird? Like, what? Like, is this not good?
Yeah. That's weird. Why were they laughing?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
So I was
just what
like-
you're into. Oh,
So
that's sad.
so after that, I was like, I kept it a
Lazy
secret.
Town. Lazy Town? Guilty pleasure.
It actually was Sporticus. I'm sorry, how could you not like
He was
Sporticus?
fit.
Like, I want to be able to do
I'm
those
sorry,
push-ups.
but he was fit.
Like, all the push-ups, and like the...
Go, babe! Okay, this escalated.
Anyway.
Back to regular scheduled programming. Back to the pod. And I think, naturally, when it came to things like talking about favourite TV shows and things like that and not quite fitting in, I also felt like sometimes I had to hide my disability. And I know everyone's thinking, you are literally in a wheelchair. Like, what? How exactly can you hide that? And you'd be surprised. So basically, growing up, because I'd never had anyone who was disabled. I mean, I did go to a specialist school, and my first ever best friend was oh my god, I can't speak.
You can. You're good.
My first best friend also has a physical disability, but aside from that, when I was first growing up and a little bit after that, there was no real representation of it, especially like online or like within the media. And obviously at that age I wasn't really online.
No.
Obviously. But when I came to going online, so I had my first Facebook at 13.
Me too.
I don't know if you were allowed.
13 was the age at the time.
Okay, thank God I'm not breaking any laws. But yeah, I had my first Facebook at 13, and I think I had Instagram when I was like 15. Anyway, I remember posting my pictures on Facebook and Instagram, and I naturally felt like I had to get out of my chair. Like my chair wasn't normal. So like in every one of my pictures, you can go back. I think I've deleted most of it, but I'm like either sat on a step or like trying to stand up, because like I can't stand up when I've got help and all that jazz. And I think had I had the representation, I would have been like for example, if someone on Lazy Town was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Wait, is there? I feel like there is. Why do I feel like someone was sat in a wheelchair?
Was he? Yeah.
But I don't know why that didn't transpire in my head.
Because they're like focus on
And
Stephanie. Is her name Stephanie? Yeah.
is it?
I think so.
But also, that's just like one side character.
Yeah.
And that's just one TV show.
It's never a main character.
I don't think there was another TV show as a child that I watched and I thought, oh, they're in a wheelchair. There wasn't.
No.
If there was, let us know. If you watched something growing up and there was actual physical disabilities on there,
I think there was in The Simpsons, but it was a joke.
I never grew up. It was a joke.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean?
I think they made a lot of jokes about it.
Oh, maybe as well as in Family Guy.
Yeah. It was worse in Family Guy.
Yeah. But like growing up, I never saw that.
No.
So I was like, okay then, so my chair is not me. essentially.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to leave it where it is, out of the picture. And I think that kind of also led me to not accept it sooner in life.
I think that's definitely the same for me. Like, I struggle to accept, like, that I was going bald and that my hair was falling out. I just didn't want to see it. I didn't want to accept that.
No.
Like, I'd get annoyed the fact that my hair was falling out, and all I wanted was just to be normal. And realistically, what is normal?
Literally,
but
what is it?
As a kid, like, or a young teenager, normal is just fitting in.
Yeah.
Like, normal is being like everybody else and liking what everybody else likes.
And, like, not having hair is like, that's not normal. Because, like, no one else
and that's
is
exactly
like
how I felt. Like, I was like, no one looks like me. I'm not normal.
No.
But instead of seeing it as unique, I saw it as, like, something to be ashamed of and, like, to hide. So that's what stemmed me to, like, get wigs, and then the wigs were like my hair. So people would say, oh, have you dyed your hair? Yes,
that's exactly what it is.
It's not a new wig, same time as last year. It is copper blonde.
Did you
Did
you actually fool people?
Yeah,
that's quite cool.
Oh yeah, I remember going to school at like year 10, and I had a wig gifted from Little Princess Trust. My hair was so bad at the time.
Did no one know at that point?
Well, I'll get into the more story of who knew when I was, let's leave them hanging.
Sorry. I'm too curious.
But so there is many stories in high school that I'm only like ready to talk about now with what happened. But there was one instance where there was a point where a few of my classes knew through choice of my own.
Yeah.
And one person in that class with a new wig that I had literally said, "Oh, I'm so happy for you. Your hair's growing back." It hadn't. It was just a better wig. But at the time, like, she was happy for me thinking that it was my own hair, and with this wig.
I mean, it's a sweet comment, but also
But to be fair, that's what I wanted to hear at the time, because like I wanted hair, you know.
And so you wanted it to look obviously real.
Yeah. So the fact with this wig that I had from Little Princess Trust, it was one that like stuck to my head. One of my favourite wigs at the time. I've had like new favourite wigs now naturally, but up to that date that was my favourite wig. Human hair, stuck to my head. I could dance in it, swim in it, sleep in it, could do everything with it. They're literally the wigs that Little Princess Trust do and Little Lady Locks do. Two different charities, very similar, just have different ways of helping children. But they that was my moment where I was like, oh, I'm fitting in finally. Like, it doesn't look like a wig anymore, it looks like normal hair.
No.
So, like, that comment was like, oh, I look like everyone else, finally.
I think for me, that fitting in moment is just going to sound really stupid. But maybe you get it if you're in a wheelchair. But for me, it was when people found it cool that I can do, like, wheelies and stuff. I remember in primary school, and a little bit at the start of high school, but like in primary school, like people were like so curious. Obviously, naturally, I was literally the only kid with a physical disability at that point, and in a wheelchair. And I remember they were like, "Oh, can you do this? Can you do that?" And like I used to like do wheelies, and like everyone would gather around me, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool! I'm getting the attention I deserve." Not joking, but yeah, it kind of was like I don't have to hide this.
Yeah.
That was that for me. And I think there was one point where I felt really bad for him, bless him. So I used to have both a wheelchair, obviously, and crutches at school. Like, my crutches were just left at school. And this kid, one of these guys, like, in my school, tried my crutches, and he actually broke it. But, like, this is going to sound really bad, but I like the attention that my disability was bringing. So, like, I like the fact that he was trying it, like, we were joking about it.
I think it's because it's, like, positive attention.
Yeah.
Like, so it feels like you're making friends.
Like, it was nice curiosity. Yeah. So, and then when he got in trouble, I was actually really sad for him. Because I was like, I'm actually finding this offensive. Like, I don't care about my... But he did break it, bless him.
Bless him.
But no, yeah. Wow. I think, having positive attention was definitely a good thing in my life then.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway.
I'm excited for our high school.
I'm
nervous, but
I'm scared.
September, no, that's next month. We're talking about high school in next month.
Yeah, August. I cannot believe July's flying by, guys. Also, if you're in the UK, are you okay? Because what's going on with this weather?
It was 22 degrees the other day.
22?
Yeah, it was like in the morning. I went out in a jacket. I was like, this is like...
We're getting too spoiled.
Yeah.
Like back in April, 22, Love
I never
life.
thought as a ginger I would acclimatise, and I'm literally like...
We are acclimatised, guys, and I'm afraid.
I'm wearing jeans, and it's like, what, 26 degrees? Am I well?
I just think this winter's going to hit hard. This winter is going to hit hard for us.
I said that to my partner the other night. I said, winter's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to be freezing.
But at the same time, it's kind of weird, but I feel like we're going to have a white winter this year.
I hope so.
I do think so.
But then it's worrying me because it's like defo climate change.
Well, obviously. Babe, we've been having 30-degree weather in the UK
I know,
for the past 3 weeks.
But like, because
it's
it's been so intense for summer, like to the extreme.
That's what makes me think.
I think it's going to be the exact same.
That's what makes me
But
think.
I think it'll hit in January, February. We've never had snow in December. Not for a long time.
We did one year. I think it was like on Boxing Day. I remember like Boxing Day a few years ago. Like I think it was like through COVID. And I think one thing that really stuck by me throughout my childhood when it came to my disability was how I was treated and how adults around me and just in my life acted when it came to my disability. Like, because like on one hand, I had the whole like being treated like I was in a, what's the saying, like crystal glass or whatever. Like I was too precious, too delicate.
Yeah. I can't think of the saying, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Let us know if you know what we're talking about. We clearly don't.
Like treating you as if you were going to break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the word. But on the other hand, I had a lot of tough love. Like I said, for example, like people like being pushed to like doing X, Y, and Z, physio, doing this, doing that. So I think I think at the time when I was going through it, I just thought like this is normal. Like this is how I'm supposed to add to it as well. But as an adult, again, we're going to dive into this more in next week's episode. But as an adult, it's made me realise how some of those reactions were actually quite harmful and unnecessary.
Yeah.
And like certain things that happened, not like anything deep or anything like that, but like certain things that kind of, I'm trying to use words that I don't know at the top of my head, but like certain things that like affected me subconsciously growing up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think this is why I like when there's more awareness with things like this, because adults are learning as well. Like like for example, my parents had zero experience with a child or anyone with needs, special needs, or like a physical disability and all that jazz that came with me being born. And with things like social media and like awareness within like TV media, I can see a lot of people commenting who are parents to people with difference and disabilities being like, oh my God, like I didn't know this, I appreciate this, like this is how I'm going to navigate this. And it's a learning curve at the end of the day.
I think as well with adults, it's like they're experiencing everything for the first time as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So they just do what they think is the right thing to do. So it's like the tough love, as much as they think like it's helping you, sometimes it's like out of touch tough love.
Yes.
Like it's tough love to an extent, but it's not respectful sometimes.
No,
I
agree.
Again, like if you've watched the recent podcast with Brie Adams, but she was adopted and her adopted parents basically had
certain view.
Because of their religion, and everyone had to work to like earn their place basically, and all their children had chores to do and will get their pocket money. And Brie, her chore was to basically travel up and down the stairs 20 times in 20 minutes.
And if you don't know who Brie is, she basically has a limb difference. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, her like Instagram tagline is literally no limbs. That's her username.
So she doesn't have any arms or legs.
Yeah. And she is like a glorified makeup artist. She's married.
She's doing really well in life.
She is absolutely incredible. But she's put all her, I guess, successes and her independence down to that tough love.
Really?
Yeah, like
okay.
she said, I swear she said as much as it was tough love, and the person that was like interviewing her on this podcast was shocked because it wasn't very motherly or
like call social services type of thing.
Yeah, but she took the approach of like, I understand that, however, I wouldn't be this independent if I didn't have that.
I guess that's actually a really good thing to take away from it.
It's like as much as tough love is great in some instances, it doesn't work for everyone.
No, but I think hearing that, it kind of does resonate with me, like, in the sense that, like, I've always said, like, in past episodes, that I wouldn't necessarily change anything growing up. I mean, there's some things I would change, but, like, for the most part, especially when it came to my parents, I wouldn't change a thing. And I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I think the tough love is what made me be the person I am today.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with the person I am today. Call me big-headed, but I'm actually happy with the person I am.
You're allowed to say that, you know.
Thanks! I'm happy with the person I am today.
Yeah.
And someone actually called me level-headed the other day. And I was like, oh my God, that is such... And it's someone that really knows me. And I was like, oh my God, that is actually a really sweet compliment. Because sometimes I'm like, I'm not level-headed. Sometimes I'm like...
Yeah.
But it was nice to know that I come across that way. But
That's
anyway.
good. I think if I could go back and change anything, it wouldn't be the way I was brought up, like parents-wise and family-wise. It would be like the people around, like the external, are like outable of the family. So like not even family, but how the public react. You know, on like awareness around that.
Yeah.
So for one thing, for me, I had no one to look up to that looked like me. Obviously, I looked up to my parents, I looked up to family, I looked up to friends, but in terms of someone of like a popular celebrity standard, there was no one I could like look up to as an influencer or to help when I wanted to know how to do my hair with by covering my bald patches, how to do my eyebrows when I had only half, how to like do makeup when I had no like facial hair, like peach fuzz. So everyone was just like soaking off my face. Like it was that I was like, I can't relate to. That I was missing.
I think for me, it was what I would change is my, it's going to sound weird, but my own perception of how my life would look. And I think growing up a Disney kid, I was very much like, I'm going to grow up, I'm going to have a child, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have a husband, and I think everyone does that. But what I was kind of naive to as a child is how in the way or how my disability was going to affect those kind of hopes and dreams. It sounds really like sad in a way, I can say that, because saying it out loud might sound sad, but also on the other hand, there was parts of my adulthood, there was a parts of my childhood where I was thinking, oh my God, like, I won't be able to do this, I won't be able to like drive, I won't be able to go on a night out with my friends, and I am doing that. So it's like one of those where it's like the balance, but going back to kind of like the family aspect of things and things like that, it's only now that I'm at a certain age where I am thinking about those things that I'm like, okay, this is going to look different for me.
How's it look for you now?
Yeah, and it's kind of coming to terms with a new reality, even though it's really weird because I'm coming in terms to a new reality, even though I've had this disability since I was born.
But I would say it's because everything you soak in as a child is this like fairy land.
Rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah, so like naturally you would think that. Like I always believed my hair would grow back.
Yeah.
Until it clearly didn't. Side note, still bald. But
if you're not watching,
she's still bald. And but it's like for me, it was the fact that like me realising that I needed a wig that broke me. So it's like I was 12 when my mum was like, I think it's time to like look into wigs, and I literally cried. I was like, no, it's gonna flow off in the wind, it's gonna be like a cartoon character like flapping. No, like I'm not doing it. And so
it's so interesting as a 12-year-old you didn't want that.
I really didn't want it.
That's so interesting.
Whereas like 12-year-old, like a lot of children that I meet now, they like see the wigs that are being produced and being worn, and like they want a wig, but at the time wigs were like a taboo subject, I feel.
Right, okay.
Like it was, I felt like as my 12-year-old self, I thought wigs were for people that had cancer and they were ill.
Yeah.
That's the only image I had of wigs.
I think that's what some people still think.
Oh yeah, like, being very transparent as a 12-year-old, that's all I thought.
Yeah.
And so when I was then told I need a wig, I was like, why?
I don't have cancer.
Like, I don't need a wig. Like, what are you on about?
Yeah.
Like, I wanted just to cover up what I had, thinking that my hair would grow back. And so when my mum approached that topic of like, you need a wig now, the image of like my hair's gonna grow back like faded drastically and like very quickly, and it started to just get me angry, and I got really frustrated at the fact that like I now have to rely on a wig.
Yeah.
when I had to then get a wig, what started to frustrate me already that young was people I didn't know calling me inspiring and inspirational when I was literally so frustrated with my situation.
Yeah.
So this one incident, I was going to the dermatology, which is hilarious because people think hair loss is a skin condition or a cosmetic issue.
No.
It's not. It's actually your autoimmune system. It's just the way your body works.
It's way deeper than that,
It's nothing really to do with like your hair.
No.
It's not a cosmetic or skin thing. Like they will look at like your hair follicle and how like if it's died or if it's still alive and will grow hair again. Mine are dead.
I love this every time. Still bald. Mine
are dead. But went to this dermatologist. That was just where we led to at the time.
Yeah.
And she basically took one look at me and just like, and my bald patches, and just started like crying. Like,
the doctor?
The dermatologist doctor woman.
A medical professional, if you will.
Just started crying. Now, she must have had a very tough day. Okay? Must have had a very tough day. So there's me, my mum and dad in this room with this woman, and I swear she had like 2 student doctors with her or 2 student nurses with her as well. And she just kept saying, "You're so inspirational, you should be really proud of how far you've come, like, I'm so sorry this has happened to you." And it was just kind of like, at this point, I'd just gone to grips with the fact that I wanted a wig.
Yeah.
I was like, can this gal stop?
So she was kind of like trying to put you off a wig?
Not putting me off a wig, but just like telling me how amazing I am.
As you are.
But it was something like, basically just saying, I'm so sorry for what you're going through and you're incredible. Almost like I've got so much resilience already.
Okay.
Of what I've been through, because it had been 2 years at this point. And I was like, thank you, can I have my wig voucher now? Because that was the main reason we went. We had to, this is another thing, as a kid, I felt like I had to jump through a lot of hoops to get answers.
1,000%.
And it's still the same now, to be fair, and we'll get into that a lot next week.
Yeah.
Because you just realise more as an adult.
100%.
But even then, being 12, I was realising that I couldn't just walk into a salon and say, I need a wig, through the NHS, which isn't even a thing anymore, by the way.
Was it ever a thing?
Yeah, it was a thing.
No.
You could get one free wig every 6 months through the NHS, and it stopped in 2016.
I'm sorry, why? Are people stopped needing wigs?
Clearly. They saw it as a cosmetic thing, not a medical thing.
Oh my God.
I believe that's why it stopped. That's the view I have as to why it stopped.
Weird.
I could be wrong. If I am wrong, let me know, but I'm sure that's what I do know as. So yeah, but basically, we went to this woman purely just to get this NHS wig voucher. And we ended up with no voucher. Me grabbing the car keys and walking my mum and dad out of the room into the car, and then we drove to Alternative Look in Blackpool and got myself a wig. That was like the whole being 12 years old, being told I'm inspiring, when I'm like, one, I'm 12 years old. Like, I don't feel like I'm inspiring anyone. I just want a wig and want to be normal. That was the only thing I wanted as a child.
And I think one part about being called inspiring, especially as a child, is like, I didn't ask for my hair to fall out. Well, you, not me.
Yeah.
And you didn't, it wasn't like you set out to be inspirational. Like, it just happened. So you, do you know what I mean?
But I think as well, I wasn't prepared for that comment as a child. And I wasn't prepared that that comment would then follow me throughout my life.
Yeah.
But I keep having, like, different views on this as well. Because, like, I do want to be inspiring and inspire other people to be themselves.
Only when you're actually doing
when I'm actually being inspired. Like, not when I'm in Tesco's getting a Tesco meal deal, you know?
No, not when, So what was that then? Not yet, no.
Not yet, no. But I think, as well, we're going to talk about next week on how we were not prepared for how many hoops we have to dive through.
Yes.
And especially when it comes to, like, the general public and coming out of that kind of childhood world and, like, being almost like being forced to mature so young.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's like, the way I would describe it is like the rose tinted glasses are going on top of your head.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I just want to put them back on. Just to, like, be ignorant to everything that's, like, wrong with the world. But no, they're on pretty much on my head now.
But what we are going to talk about next week, just as a little teaser for you, is actually a very popular place in Manchester Town Centre that when they opened, they were a little bit discriminatory.
Refusing entry and all that jazz. But we'll
end it there.
we'll yeah, because otherwise I will
start throwing hands.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye.